Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you. Yes, I do. I piss on you. I pee on you.
Drip, drip, drip.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, interesting sex fetishes, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the piss on you to the poop on you, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Jason.
Hello. How are you?
Hello there. I feel we got a very Kenobi vibe going with our beards. Right now.
That is true. Yeah, it's very. Hello there,
General Kenobi. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this.
Excellent.
I enjoyed our pre-show banter. It was nice.
Yes.
It was nice to have just a moment.
Yeah, because
to BS before the show.
Yeah, I actually was here early today because I had to go to base to hopefully finish the last of my out processing. I got a majority of it done. The finance part is taken care of. That's the most important part.
That is the most important part
of my retirement is
Yes.
making sure I get paid.
Yes.
So, and then I took care of a bunch of other shit. At some point, I got to go back and get like one, irrelevant person to sign one irrelevant sheet of paper and then turn it in and be like, here, I'm done.
Right. And then you got to get your ID card.
Yes, they tried to give that to me today, actually. My retiree ID card. Well, I still need to log into some shit, and apparently I have to create an account on the thing where all us retirees go to get all of our information and all that. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah,
all the things.
Yeah. So I told them,
good though.
Yeah, let's hold off on that for another week.
Well, that's right. Helmet Fire started the first day. His how
Terminal?
you doing? No, the fucking
Permissive.
No, keep going.
Fucking, I don't know.
Oh God, damn it, Jason!
Fucking
my brain's not working.
Well, what else is there?
The thing I told you about.
I don't know.
Oh my God, Jason.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Can we not dwell on this?
Drip, drip, drip. Skill Bridge.
Oh,
Skill Bridge.
Gotcha.
Yes, Skill Bridge. It's that thing that you can do so you can start your retirement early.
Oh,
Well, you start kind of start terminal earlier, so you can be in the job force, and then
or a corporate fellowship, as Helmet Fire says in the chat.
Yes, he would know because he's doing it and can say it way better than I can right now because my brain hurts. It hurts right here.
All right. Well, can you muster up the strength at least
there.
to tell us what we're talking about today?
Well, if you didn't pick up on it, we're obviously not talking about weird sex fetishes. At least not exclusively.
Right.
We're talking about Chappelle Show.
That's right. Chappelle Show. Yeah, we're finishing up season 1. I know we had kind of started working through it, and then we had a bit of a break. We haven't talked about it in several months, and I'm ready to finish off season 1 only because season 2 is far superior.
Oh God,
in every way. And we're gonna get into it as we talk about this. Like some of these sketches, they don't hold up and they don't really stand the test of time.
True.
But I think you get more stuff that stays relevant in season 2. But again, we'll get into that when we talk about the show.
For sure. It's listen, season 1, without season 1, we don't get season 2. And
right.
I will say, spoiler alert, that there was definitely some laugh out loud things that I was just like, man, it's still funny.
Oh yeah,
especially
for sure.
because this was 2003 that it came out.
Yeah.
2003,
almost 20 fucking years ago.
I looked right into Dave Chappelle's eyes when I could say that.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle as R. Kelly is staring right at us from our third monitor.
Haters wanna hate,
lovers wanna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you.
Drip,
all right,
drip, drip.
more of that to come later. So anyway,
phrasing.
Oh,
gross.
We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Shotgun Mark, Frank Kalevich, Frederick Martin, Lord Helmet Fire, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Ivo G, Kristen Roscom, Nick from Swede Studios, Catherine Rennick, my wonderful mother-in-law, Don Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, David Schmuck.
Don Solsky's your mother-in-law?
Wait, did I not say Patricia Goodstein?
No, you didn't.
Whoops. Dawn is my mother-in-law. There's a lot of things that we need to talk about.
Yes, apparently.
Fuck, I forgot where I left
Your
off.
wonderful mother-in-law.
David Schmuck, Wally Frogmore, Tony
Now,
Ferrari.
David Schmuck's your mother-in-law?
Oh my God.
Jesus, Jason.
Tony Ferrari, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/the Sidebar Cantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
Maybe if there were more Patreon supporters, then you could actually fucking learn to read.
I thought I was getting really good at reading these same names over and over again every week.
Apparently not.
Yeah, well, you know, it's.
You should try it in a different voice.
I need to find a voice. You're the man of 1,000 voices. I got to find at least one other one.
It's a terrible burden to bear. Trust me.
I know, right? Because now everybody's like, "Where's J-Lo? We want J-Lo.
Yeah.
Dance, bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Between J-Lo and Hank. So our amazing social media director is with her daughter, as she should be, who's had surgery today. So keep Kelly and her family in your thoughts and prayers as
Indeed.
her daughter had successful surgery today. I don't know if I was supposed to say that on the air, but I said it anyway. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. God damn it. The personal lives of our fucking team. But so if you don't see Kelly in the chat, that is why they're attending to that. So
Family business, we'll just say.
sure,
Yeah.
just edit the rest of that stuff out.
All right.
Except for the part that I said live that you can't take back.
Right.
So that being said, there's no notes for Dave to read. However, I do know that this past weekend was the
Scarif Khan.
Scarif Con
Yeah.
that our friends at the Escape Pod were able to attend. So unfortunately, this weekend I was fucking slammed, and we'll get into it when we talk about our weeks. Excuse me. I was slammed. I wasn't able to go, and I know you weren't able to go either. So unfortunately, all the things that happened this, fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I remembered to cancel my fucking hotel room now.
Well, that's good.
Because I almost forgot. I'm like, fuck, I gotta cancel that. So I canceled my hotel room. So that's
Still got to keep your points and all that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. If they do one again next year, we need to make more of an effort to go.
Oh, it just boop. There's the pin.
Yeah. Because I think, I wouldn't. I can't even use the excuse that it was short notice this time because we've known about it for several months. But we both had things planned already for this month. It was on my anniversary, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So it just wasn't good timing for us all around. But I have no vacations scheduled for next July. As long as they don't do it over the weekend of my anniversary again. Then.
Well, I mean, July, there's always vacations. Unfortunately, with my grandmother's passing and, other things that have happened, shit happens.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
But
and saying that, I'm not super. I'm not. Even if I could have went, I don't know that I would have want to have gone without you.
Right.
Because I don't feel like it's the show if we're not together.
That just reminds me of a drop I need to throw in here. Gay.
You know what I mean, though? It's just like, I get it. I mean, I'm obviously the one that's going to entertain everybody anyway, but I just think it's not the show if we're not together. So we definitely need to make sure that we put ourselves in a bubble and fucking get ourselves there.
Indeed.
For next year. So I hope that everyone who did get to attend Scarif Con had a fucking fantastic time.
I see Dominic Pace did make it, so
that's fantastic. He's been a super friend to the Red 5 Network. He was super cool when I got to meet him during the pandemic, right? Was that in 20?
20 or 21.
Regardless, it's what pandemic time traveling, but
yeah.
Regardless, he was super cool when I got to meet him, and he signed a bunch of stuff for us. So anyway, go to bio.link/red5 and bio.link/red5gaming.
Yes, and
she deleted all this other stuff. I could have read that other stuff.
I know, right? So that's the good thing when our Patreon director doesn't do something, I still have the old messages from her, so I can still go in and read.
It was deleted out of there, but that's okay.
Speaking of which, I'm really, really going to try to put an effort into doing some streaming for as part of the Red 5 streaming.
Red 5 gaming stuff?
Yeah, so I'm really trying to do that hopefully soon because I play a decent amount of games on the weekends anyway. Nice. So I might as well just turn on the fucking stream and turn on the camera and talk to a few people.
Yeah,
while I'm doing it. So
why not?
Take a crazy chance. Why not do a crazy dance? Somebody will get that. Anyway. What were we talking about?
Crazy gold medallions.
Oh, yeah. We ready to get into our weeks?
Yes. Yes, we are.
All right.
Without your musical interlude that I'm still trying to figure out what that was from. This fucking cup's bothering me. God damn it.
What is wrong with you?
I missed and it's fucking been sitting there. I can't take it. I can't take it.
So as I mentioned, my anniversary was this last weekend, and and I remembered it.
It's the big 2-0, right?
21.
The big 2-1, right?
Yeah, last year was the 20, which is why we went to Vegas earlier in the year last year. Vegas was kind of our big anniversary trip.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's all part of the COVID time bubble.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
But anyway, we had a good breakfast out and a good dinner. And Kristen got me a nice little anniversary gift to add to the sacred Jedi Pixies. I want to thank Ms. Lopez for providing us with that special drop.
Oh God.
So to add to the Black Series collection, we have the man, the legend.
Is that Palps? Go for Papa Palpatine.
It is Papa Palpatine. So I finally figured out
because his face looks like a boiled scrotum. Do it.
I could have gotten laid just one more time.
Just one more time.
So this is the archive version. So this is what I figured out, right? The Death Trooper that I got over there too.
Right.
It's also in one of the archive things with the carded back, not in the traditional Black Series boxes. So I guess what they do is they re-release certain Black Series figures because I guess when they release them the first time, it's a limited print run. They get super fucking expensive for people that actually want to buy them and fucking open them and play with them. You've got these archive versions that they're re-releasing for that. Because if you look on the back, it shows Palpatine in his original box. So this is a nice, re-release to get more figures out on the market for a reasonable price. And this one might have to get opened. And then I may have to get the one in the traditional box to keep in the box for display. It's for display only. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, but it is nice to have Palpatine.
Do it.
So thank you, Kristen, and I'm glad to have another piece of the sacred Jedi Pixies. So that was good. On Saturday, I saw Maverick again in theaters. My youngest son, Ben, has been begging me ever since, he's wanted to see it since we had planned to go the first year it was supposed to come out in 2020.
Right.
And I kind of told him that I would. And then when it came time with the 40X, when it was supposed to be us and you and Kathy going, I'd only bought the 4 because I knew if you two were going, I'm like, I'm not going to bring any kids, so it can just be the two couples, and then I'll take him later. And shit happened, and he couldn't make the one time that I could get 40X tickets again in seats that weren't way off to the sides.
Right.
So we ended up not being able to go to see it in 40X, and he still wanted to see it. Wanted to see it. I'm like, all right, fine. We'll go see it. He begged me to go this weekend, so I got his tickets for Saturday morning at the Cinemark right down the road, which is a great theater, super close.
Right.
And got us like the perfect seats right in the middle because nobody else was seeing it at this point. And, it was great.
It was a great weekend to fucking go to the movies.
Yeah.
It was so fucking hot.
Mm-hmm. And I got to say, I enjoyed it again. And this is the testament of a good movie. When you can watch a movie that you know exactly what's going to happen, you know all the plot twists and everything else, and you watch it and you're still entertained, you're never bored the whole way through.
Yeah.
That just tells you how
I
good
should
the
probably,
movie
I should
was.
probably go see it again in the theater before it's
Yeah,
out.
because I mean, honestly, that theater experience is
Yeah.
part of the appeal for that movie. Just
Yeah.
everything and all the flying.
Does Tom Cruise tell you again that?
Oh, yeah.
Does he thank you that you saw it in the theater? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he's very very appreciative of that.
Old Tom Cruise. Like,
Yeah.
he looks fucking pretty beat up in that little clip that he does before the fucking movie starts.
Yeah, a lot more than he does in the actual movie.
Right. Well, I mean, figure they filmed the movie fucking 3 years prior, right? For the most part.
At least. Yeah. And you know, I've seen that fucking Mission Impossible trailer now a few times for the next Mission Impossible movie, and every time I see it, I'm like, that actually doesn't look bad. I should consider watching those movies because, again, never seen a Mission Impossible. Well, I saw like the first 20 minutes of the first Mission Impossible, fell asleep, and never re-engaged.
They're really good popcorn movies. I mean, honestly, it's kind of that. Just suspend your disbelief. Just watch it for just ridiculous action stuff. Like what I imagine that the people that enjoy the Fast and the Furious movies, it's like that.
Yeah.
Or what I imagine the people that enjoy those movies get out of that. I kind of watch Mission Impossible for. Although I can't watch all of the Mission Impossibles. Not all of them are watchable to me.
Oh, really?
But you know, I do want to see this latest one.
Yeah.
Because at some point it's like, what ridiculous shit is Tom Cruise going to come up with to fucking do on this set? Because there's this interview. It's online. It's Matt Damon, who's doing it. He's interviewing on one of the fucking talking head shows, and he talks about running into Tom Cruise, and you know, Matt Damon played Jason Bourne in the Bourne movies, so he has some action experience. And he was talking to Tom Cruise about some ridiculous things, like what's the most ridiculous thing. And Tom Cruise talks about in Mission Impossible how he said he wanted to do this action sequence where he jumps off this fucking building, and he tells the safety guy, like, oh, I want to do this, right? This is what I want to do. And the safety guy's like, no, you can't do that. It's too dangerous. So he gets another safety guy so that they can do the fucking sequence.
Right.
And that's how fucking crazy he is. He's like, all right, no, that safety guy's not going to let me do it. I'm going to go find a safety guy that is going to let me do it.
Yeah, I can remember too. It was probably like the third Mission Impossible movie where he's like dangling from the side of a fucking cliff, and he like really did it. And then there was big stories about how that was all Tom Cruise doing his own stunts and everything.
She's just a fucking. If you're going to be that into that, I think he's just. I don't know, whatever alien is inhabiting his brain cavity
right.
is controlling him, like some odd Rick and Morty episode, and so be it.
Yeah.
just do dance for me. You know what? Never mind.
We had a
Just
couple of
dance for me.
interesting comments in the chat. First of all, Helmet Fire apparently can't stand Tom Cruise, which
okay.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever taken that kind of a stance against any actor or actress where I just can't stand them and I won't watch any of their movies.
Lies.
What? Name one.
Yeah,
you got nothing.
None come to mind.
There
at
you
the
go.
moment.
And Bronco Fett mentioned the whole Death Star trench run. Yeah,
Yes.
like that whole ending sequence is nothing but the fucking Death Star run. Just
exactly. Stay in formation
with F-18s. Stay on target. And then they have to hit a target that's 2 meters wide. They fucking say it. They say it. It's only 2 meters wide. I'm like, is anybody else not hearing this?
Start looking around. Anyone? No.
Yeah, it's that's too funny.
He's way too punchable. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah, General Shinobi's in the chat. She also is not fond of Tom Cruise. Where'd all this Tom Cruise hate come from all of a sudden? Like the whole Scientology thing, I understand like people being put off from that because those people are they're out there.
I do not put any actor or actress on a pedestal. Like I just don't. They're people. They're just idiots. Like they're idiots like everyone the fuck else. Yeah. And I just like if they're entertaining me, dance monkey dance. That's what. And if they look like if it's an attractive woman or if it's an attractive male, if that's what you enjoy, then
just Bradley Cooper.
Then there you go. I mean, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that got awkward.
Yay.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah,
Bradley
Maverick,
Cooper.
Tom Cruise. No. All right, the last thing I had for my week was I played D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, with my family over the weekend. No, I've been wanting to get into D&D for a good 20 something years now. Never got into it back in school or anything.
Right.
Me and my group of friends, though we were all kind of nerds still, we just did different things. We played video games and we did, other stuff, but like D&D never really was part of, anything that like we had any exposure to. So never did it. Then over the years, as I started playing like the online RPGs and I started seeing sort of the things that have come out of D&D and like how D&D was sort of the origins of so many like role-playing games, video games, all that, I really always wanted to get into it. And never really had an opportunity until, and I had gotten to sit in on a couple of gaming sessions here and there over the years, but never like anything serious. But I bought this like starter kit that had like a starter adventure. And of course I was the dungeon master because I've got the most knowledge of it. And I was running the scenario and I had all 4 members of the family of the 3 boys and Kristen were all playing and it was fun. Rob, my oldest, he got super into it. Like he created a dwarf character. He talked in a Scottish accent the whole time.
Oh, nice.
And, he was super into it. And I felt bad because the game ended when he died permanently. Because the problem was, as the DM, I'm rolling for all of like the creatures and everything that you're fighting. And I'm just rolling like fucking 20, 20, 20, 19, 20, 20.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, fuck. I don't know what happened with the dice, but man, I'm just rolling like fucking, like my life depended on it. And I was beating the fuck out of all of them the whole game. I'm like, you're seeing me roll.
These are loaded dice. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. So
you need to get better. They need to go get better dice. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, they were all rolling like shit at the same time where I was rolling like nat 20s, like every other fucking roll. And it was just, it was brutal. And Rob died permanently and everybody else is just like, all right, we're not going to carry on without him. And then they made up like Adam's like, all right, I'm going to go live with the goblins. And
that's really funny. It's fun though. It is. It's fun. And I know, I don't know if my cousin Rick's in the chat or not. I know his brother-in-law is and him are talking. I think they're doing a they've got one set up where Chuck is the dungeon master. I don't know, but they are getting a nice large group set up.
Nice.
Unfortunately, again, it's one of those things that you have to have time for.
Yes.
And I'd love to get into a game that's a little bit longer term. And D&D is something that you can kind of come in and out of, like bring your character in and out of.
Right. Yeah.
If you got a good DM that can work in and out of that. Mm-hmm. I know the Escape Pod guys, they were during COVID. I think the tail end of COVID, they were doing D&D virtually.
Yep. And I know some of the Red 5 folks have been doing that as well.
Yeah. So it's really remarkable to see decades later. Like I think the first time I played Dungeons and Dragons, I was like, I don't know. I had to have been 12, 13 years old. I mean, it was just something, I don't even, when did it start? It started in the 70s, right?
I want to say so.
Yeah. So it had been out for a minute and it was just something that it was kind of being played in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And, we played it for a little while. And then it kind of like, it was a summer thing. Like we played it one summer and kind of got into it. And then like the next summer we weren't into it anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because during the school year, we just didn't, like we didn't hang out the same way that we did in the summer. So
sure,
it was, so we just weren't into it. But it was like, it was fun for that summer. And then off and on I played after that.
Yeah. And I will say though that I got distracted by the chat. But along the same lines, one of the reasons why I think I never really played it was because my mother, I can remember, got really caught up in the whole satanic panic thing. Do you remember in the 80s, the fucking stories that would come out where
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons is dangerous, it's
Yeah.
corrupting your kids and all that? And I specifically remember my mom one day telling me, "You're never playing Dungeons and Dragons." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, it's not like anybody in my
because
circle was playing it.
goblins.
Right.
Right. Because the devil.
Yeah.
Well, the devil was hiding in everything back in those days. Like,
True.
You know,
but
it was
yeah,
a weird time, man.
I
You really
know.
think about like some of the shit that adults were worked up about when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
And you know, it's like it was so hard to disprove bullshit too, because you know, there's allegedly there was a story about a kid who was playing Dungeons and Dragons and killed his sister because of it.
oh yeah, that was
you know?
always the big thing,
Right. And you know, it
Like
was
some sacrificial bullshit.
yeah, but you know, it was probably some story that got completely fucking skewed, but you had no way to fucking
Nope.
disprove it because there was no internet back then.
That's right. It was all fucking hearsay.
Yeah.
Probably came down from some church somewhere. Like, oh, they're the demons. The demons are coming out of the video games and the board games and the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Be gone, demons. Be gone.
That was good.
I don't know what that was.
Whatever that was impressive. Hell, I'm ready to follow you. So
Come join a cult with me.
well, I'm not in the cult, so I don't have to worry about pissing the leader guy off.
Look, there's a girl I want to meet there.
All right. That's pretty much it for my week.
That's what we're doing. Our weeks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot what we were doing.
Yeah. We get off on some sidebars. It's our thing. That's what
Yeah,
we
it's
do.
our thing. You know what I did fucking last week? You know why?
Well, I know because you told me before the show.
Oh my god, my fucking brain is completely just zapped of electrolytes because I spent a better part of last week out in the heat working on my car, on the Jeep. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay.
All right.
It's a story about a kid that's been working on cars for a long time.
Yeah, the sun sucks.
Yeah,
Fuck the
fuck the
sun.
sun.
I
I
fucking
hate it
hate it
too.
too. Long live the fucking beast. Sorry.
So it's a kid that's been working on cars for a long time, and you know the problem with being a kid that knows how to work on cars, and it turns into an adult that knows how to work on cars, is that when there's car issues, then you tend to fucking work on those cars because you save a bunch of money. You're not paying some mechanic a bunch of labor fees, yada yada yada. But also what that does mean is that you're usually laying on the concrete in the fucking weather.
That's
Working
never
on the car.
cooperative.
Never. And unfortunately this weekend it was like the hottest weekend in like, you know, some recorded history.
Oh, hold on. We got to go off on this sidebar real quick.
Oh no,
Bronco Fett, who, you know, longtime listener of us, very religious person. He actually played D&D in his church.
yeah, I believe it.
The group of
In youth groups.
Yeah.
Why not? It's you know, it's a good team. Like it's a team building.
Yeah.
There's nothing
So
there's
not
nothing
every
satanic about it. I
yeah,
mean, I
not
guess
every
you could have satanic storylines, I guess, if you really wanted to.
Mhm.
But I think that's not necessarily the game.
right.
But regardless,
All right. Sorry.
speaking of fucking Satan and the fucking heat that was the 300-degree days that I was working on this fucking car. So I was beating up. Basically, what I had to do is I'm doing a fucking wheel bearing on the Jeep because my son's car's broke down, and so he's driving my car. So I'm like, well, I have the Jeep. Drove the Jeep on a bad bearing. It's like, fuck, I gotta fix that. So like, all right, let me get the bearing fixed. I know how to do that. So I start fucking taking that apart. And so Dave, or no, not Dave, some person who yeah,
Dave?
I made the mistake of watching a YouTube video of somebody like basically taking apart the wheel, you know, basically taking everything apart to get to the wheel bearing. And he's like, oh, you need these tools, right? And I should have known better because I'm like, oh yeah, you need these tools. That makes sense, right? And so as I'm removing the bolts that would what I think is taking the caliper off, one of those bolt heads it's called an E-Torx. You know what a Torx looks like? It's kind of looks like a star almost.
Okay.
Right? But the male you're used to seeing like the male version of that.
Okay.
Well, an E-Torx is the female version. So the end of it kind of looks like a rook.
Wait, did you just assume that tool's gender?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's what it says on the package.
Oh,
So
okay.
the manufacturers assigned its gender. So anyway, the E-Torx was one of the bolts was an E-Torx, and I didn't see it. I just was taking the bolts off and assumed its gender.
Wow.
And I went and put a regular socket on it.
Mm-hmm.
And once I put the regular socket on it, because my socket was set up, it's a 12-point socket, and this thing was a fucking 5-point fucking star. It just torqued the shit out of it and basically stripped it out immediately.
Right.
Which I still didn't see. I just felt it go, right? Because I'm kind of working like this. Everything's the wheel's in front of me, and I'm working like this. I feel it go. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay. So I'm dicking around with it. I'm looking at it like, I can see the material. So I have sockets that take bolts out. There are special sockets for that. So I get one of those out and I start working at, and the material just keeps fucking disappearing. Like it's like it was supposed to be like soft or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? So this is the second bolt of the fucking caliper, which brake caliper, this thing should have come off easily because brakes get changed often, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a 33-year-old vehicle. So I get it. But whoever put this thing on used an inappropriate amount of Loctite, which you don't need. You don't fucking need. Anyway. So once I needed to get this bolt out to even like get to step fucking 4 of 80 in this fucking project. So now this is like on Friday. So now Friday into Saturday into Sunday is me cutting, drilling, pulling, hitting, cutting more, drilling, waiting for easy outs to come because the easy outs that they sell in the store aren't strong enough, and then the easy out wasn't working. So like all these fucking things to try and get this goddamn bolt out. And then finally at 8:30 last night, I managed to get the fucking caliper off.
Mm-hmm.
At 8:30 last night. So
Like 3 full days, basically.
6 hours on Friday, like 6 hours on Saturday, and I started at 10:30 yesterday to 8:30 at night.
Sounds rough.
It was, and I was fucking. I should have lost a lot more weight, to be honest. I wish I, as much as I was sweating, I was drinking plenty of water. Kathy was coming out and fucking forcing me to drink water.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fucking, the moral of the story is, before you fucking put a wrench onto a fucking bolt head, verify that it's the fucking appropriate wrench. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to fucking create a sequence of issues that ends up cascading into the fucking problem that I end up having. Mm-hmm. So I still have the caliper's just off. And unfortunately, I got it broken down to the point where I got the old bearing off, which, holy shit, it was so fucking bad. That bearing was so I put the old bearing and new bearing like this, right? And if you turn this bearing, yeah, you play Hungry Hippos.
Oh yeah.
You know what the marbles sound like when they're going,
yeah,
like on the table.
Oh yeah.
And then like the marbles get all over the floor, and you miss a bunch of them, and you run them over with the vacuum cleaner.
Oh yeah.
And that's what this fucking bearing sounded like, right? The one that I swore up and down it wasn't the bearing that was bad. I was making believe it was something else. So that was the sound that one was making. This one, whisper quiet. Like, motherfucker. So I'm lucky. I was really, really lucky that I drove to the base and back on that fucking bearing, that it didn't seize up on me and create even more problems.
Yeah.
But I got everything off. Now I just got to fucking reassemble the whole thing. I still got to get the goddamn bolt because I got the head off the damn bolt, but this bolt's still sticking out of the caliper like this. Because it's frozen. The threads are frozen in there because of this idiot that used fucking epoxy on the goddamn threads.
How the fuck are you gonna get it out?
That's what she said. I'm going to heat it, which will hopefully, with enough heat, I'm hoping that the material that's like that epoxy material is actually going to melt to a point where it'll expand the metal, and then I'm with a like a pipe wrench. I'll have the whole thing in a vise, and I'll be able to maneuver it around. That's the plan. I just needed the right day to do it. Probably tomorrow. Hopefully my son's car will be done tomorrow.
Do you even have a job anymore?
Dude, thankfully I haven't been taking a lot of time off, so I have time off to burn. Unfortunately, I'm burning it for this.
Right.
But yeah. Apparently this is why I saved all my time off so I could fucking go outside and attempt to kill myself in the fucking heat.
Yeah. Though I gotta say, sidebar. You know, we've had this big heat wave this last week.
I got a heat wave!
And I mean, it was very high for this area for this time of year, even though it is summer. And I gotta say, it wasn't the worst for me because, as we've talked about, especially when we start getting into the winter months, how much I fucking hate the cold now. Like, I used to not be this way. I used to be, in the summer, I would be miserable. In the summer, I'd be like, oh, it's so hot, it's miserable, I can't sleep, I can't do anything. Now I'm just like, I'll survive. And I have not had a bit of trouble sleeping in the heat. But it's now, when it gets cold, it's like fucking miserable. So
yeah, I don't sleep well in the heat. Like the rest of it, the heat wasn't the problem. It was the sweating, like, because I'm staying hydrated. But you're talking about like to drill this thing out. I'm in the wheel well of the Jeep, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in the wheel well, and you're talking about a very, very, it's high density steel, this bolt, right? Because it has to withstand temperature and all this other shit because it's attached to the brake caliper, which gets really hot.
sure.
Right, so it has to be able to withstand this shit. So I had to buy a cobalt fucking drill bit, and now I'm operating a drill, and in order to get enough force on it, because I can't get at it from the other side because it's in the wheel well. So then I had to basically take it, and I'm pulling the drill towards me like this. So now think about, like, I don't know, if you take a weight or to be on a machine where you're pulling. Like you're pulling something towards you. So now I'm trying to put my entire body weight into putting this pressure, because it's slow speed, high pressure,
Right.
to be able to drill this steel out. And you have to maintain that pressure for long periods of time. So I'd be counting to like 50 and then taking a break. And then counting to 50. So I'm putting that pressure on my muscles to fucking do that, and then to drill down probably about that deep. It's just like it's just fucking brutal.
Yeah.
So it's like I fucking intensely working out for a couple of days, and then swinging a 3-pound sledge to try and fucking get the get the fucking thing off of the axle.
Is that how you actually had to release it? Was like hit it with a sledgehammer?
Yeah, I got a little 3-pound sledge for that, which is loud as fuck. Ears are ringing like crazy. Turn the headphones up. Turn the headphones up.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, damn it. But anyway,
My man got shot in his ear like 8 times. Of course, they start talking all the acts in the chat. Nobody's mentioned acts in forever, and now today I had to take the act off the soundboard to make room for the
sacred Jedi.
Pixies! There you go. See, there's some acts for it. That's it. I'm honestly sweating, dehydrating, sweating more, tomorrow I'm going to feel even worse because it's that day after the day that you work out. So I'm sure. Yeah. Thank God for ibuprofen. That's all.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. So with that being said, are we ready to get into our main topic?
I think so.
Do you need a break or anything?
I don't think so.
All right, then let's get to it. So we are talking about Chappelle Show.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
We are finishing up season 1. We're doing the final 3 episodes, episodes 10, 11, and 12. And yeah, let's hop right into it. And again, keep in mind, you alluded to this at the beginning of the episode. 2003 is when these episodes came out.
So, and it becomes that's too high.
Yeah.
It becomes relevant because there's actual
You're thinking the video camera one, aren't you? Yeah.
That's the
I think that's the second episode. Yeah. The end of episode 11.
Episode 11 with the video camera where it's, you know, you have
It's 10
TRL.
years later. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years later, and it's 2013. Like, when he said that, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that was fucking 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, 2003 just doesn't click in my mind that was that long ago. It just doesn't.
No, I'm right there with you.
But sadly,
Mm-hmm.
it was a long fucking time ago.
So yeah, just keep that in mind as we're going through some of these episodes, because part of what we're doing is we're looking at them in the context of today, and do these sketches still hold up? Are the jokes still relevant? Are some things even more relevant now? Like when we jump right into episode 10 and he starts talking about R. Kelly and, you know, buying the Chocolate Factory album.
Well, this is again even more relevant today because of, you know, recent arrests and incarcerations.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This
is the same thing. Really.
Yeah. For a good portion of R. Kelly's career, he's had at least these allegations that he'd, you know, been, you know, inappropriate with minors and whatnot. And I guess it really started when an alleged tape surfaced of him having sex with an alleged minor. And also,
I don't think it's alleged anymore. I'm pretty sure when you're convicted and you're going to jail for it, it's no longer alleged.
All right, fine, whatever. I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. But
you.
But yeah, and in that tape he pisses on her.
Drip, drip, drip.
And again, we're talking 2003, and this had been known for at least a year at that point.
This was still videotape too. It had to have been a videotape.
Yeah.
Right? Because 2003, we weren't really rocking the fucking iPhones and
no, nothing digital at that point. Yeah, we were all still on like actual
that's crazy to
some
think.
type of video cassette. Yeah.
That's anyway.
And yeah, so he opens up talking about the new R. Kelly album, and it basically alludes to like, hey, you know, say what you will about the scandals, but the music is scandal proof. And he goes, and he's like, and if you were paying attention, you know, to R. Kelly's music, you'd have seen this coming like me. And then we get into the classic sketch. This is one of the standout sketches, I think, of season 1.
Because it's so clever. Like this song, the song that he's singing, that Piss on You song.
Yeah.
The entire thing is so well written. It's like a regular song.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah,
legit it. Like,
it is.
Like
it's performed like a regular song, but at the same time, it's got very clever dialogue. That's all
what I mean. It's
basically
like put that track out. You know, turn the headphones up and fucking put that track out, man.
Yeah, and then he breaks into it, and of course, so many scenes of him either like pouring water on women or
55-gallon drum that says R. Kelly's urine on it that he's fucking got a hose attached to, and he's just fucking squirting down women on it.
Your body is a porta potty.
And no, there is no Piss on You soundbite because we can just sing it.
Yeah, I know.
Got to piss on you. What
drip,
was
drip,
that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, my virus and threat protection. Windows Defender summary. Windows Defender antivirus did not find any threats since your last summary.
Well, thank God.
Your device was scanned 2 times.
Thank God I had to do that right now.
I know. Thank you, Microsoft.
Piss on you.
Drip, drip, drip,
Drip, drip, drip.
piss on
that
you.
fucking part.
It's on you. It's
Sidebar.
on you.
That was fucking Chuck would say that shit all the time.
Really?
Drip, drip, drip. It's like it could have been. You could be saying anything, and it'd just be like drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
You'd like, God damn it.
Yeah, and then he started talking about like pooping on you, and you got where he's pouring the chocolate on the lady.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
that's
R. Kelly's doo-doo butter.
right. Yeah, and then with the oh god, I should have wrote it down because there was a whole sequence with the in the remix.
Oh yeah,
Right.
well we'll get to the remix.
Right. All right.
Like I love the remix even more than the original song, but
Now the original song is. I mean, it's
it's classic. And the you know how
fucking
good it was
He's staring at us.
because because it comes back in season 2 multiple times. You know, there's a lot of callbacks to it. There's the one where there's the court trial, where they're doing the R. Kelly court trial, that they bring it back there. There's one where they do the comparison, white justice versus black justice, and the justice system and how criminals are treated.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And there's the one where he plays the drug dealer, and you can see the R. Kelly video playing in the background.
Right. Oh, I can't wait to get to season 2.
Yeah. So, but I mean, just iconic sketch. One of the best known sketches of the entire series. Definitely a standout in season 1. And yeah, what else can you say?
Drip, drip, drip.
Piss on you, pee on you. And I love, of course, too, they do the toilet seat. The only thing to make my life complete is when I turn your face into a toilet seat. And he lifts up the toilet seat as a girl's face there. And then later on, she's like doing the sexy dance, and she's like got the toilet seat. She's doing the sexy butt dance on the toilet seat.
These fucking. I don't know how you keep a straight face throughout this. Whole thing.
That's got to be hard for him and the extras.
Yeah.
And that, like, all the people dancing
Like,
around
all
him.
right, I'm going to dress up like R. Kelly, and we're going to sing this song. And I'm gonna start pouring stuff on you. I need you to keep in character as like when you're a fucking backup dancer.
There's got to be like 20 hours of outtakes.
There's got to be this whole fucking show. There's got to be just hours and hours of outtakes.
Yeah, of them just not being able to keep a straight face.
Oh god, look at him.
Yeah, it's the
Oh my god.
40 ounces of malt liquor make me want to tell you something.
If all you can see in the studio, the way it's paused right now on the screen, it's just.
I'm gonna take a picture. Maybe I'll put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. He's
staring at us.
I'm gonna pee on it.
Oh, let me take a video too.
Haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you.
Oh, that's fuck. Oh god, what am I doing?
No, we're not pouring yellow liquid on Jennifer Lopez.
Oh god, no.
She would not stand for that.
No.
Latina woman is not going to stand for that.
Yep. So are we ready to move on from Piss
Sure.
on You?
Yes.
All right. Then we go into, he finishes up the Ask a Black Dude series, because throughout this whole season, he's had the Paul Mooney Ask a Black Dude sketches. He also did the Ask a Gay Dude one time with Mario Cantone.
Right. Which we gave our feelings about.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we finish up the Ask a Black Dude again. Paul Mooney, rest in peace. One of the funniest men alive, or formerly alive. And we had it started off with Dee Snider. And this is the thing, like they find these people on the street. I don't know where they were. They must have been outside.
They were in New York.
Yeah, but they must have been outside some sort of entertainment building, because they bumped into Stephen King in a previous episode, and then they got Dee Snider out there.
Right.
And of course he asks the ultimate question, like, are all of their dicks really big? Are there any of them small? Or should we just assume, all black men are hung like horses? And, Paul Mooney goes off on,
Yeah.
brothers are packing. They seem to be packing. Once you go black, you never go back. He's talking about like Mariah Carey and how she married a white man and couldn't wait to get away from him.
Look, I'm unpopular opinion. These Paul Mooney bits have not been my favorite thing. They never were, and I think I said it in one of the other episodes we did with Chappelle. I just like, okay, I mean, I get it. Probably the funniest thing to me he did throughout this entire thing was at the end was the tee up for when he says just off the cuff, he's like, how white people take everything.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, they're gonna like what I'm doing here. They're gonna take you. They're gonna fuck up and take you. And,
Yeah, and of course we get the payoff at the end. But
Right.
yeah, no, that was a good point because that was the question where they asked about like bald heads, like why do black guys shave their heads, and he's like, well, white people wear bald heads too. They're not gonna let a brother have nothing. They
Yeah.
took Lionel Richie, they took James Brown,
we gave him back.
they gave him back. Oh, they'll come up and take things. But I thought these were hilarious. I love Paul Mooney pretty much.
I just never. Paul Mooney was just never my cup of tea.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
All right, fair enough. And then we go right into Dave Chappelle breaking news.
Got the remix.
We got the Piss on You remix, which I love this one.
Immediately going to the remix.
I pick you up from the club, take you home to make some love. Got a surprise, close your eyes. I'm gonna cover you in suds. Gonna give you some poop poop. Gonna give you some pee pee. Gonna give you some doot doot. Wash it down with some wee wee. This is the remix edition of the song about pissing.
Come on, keep going, man. I don't know all the words to this.
That's
one.
pretty much it. It was very short. Oh, that's how it goes at the R. Kelly party. I sip Chris, you drink piss.
It's so fucking clever. I'm watching it. I'm just chuckling out loud.
Yeah.
Because it's just clever. It's just well written.
Mm-hmm.
There's his fucking face.
I know. Oh, where's the? Whoops. Sorry.
This is malt liquor.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear that at home. Then we get into what I feel is the lowest part of this episode.
Oh,
The History Channel gang war.
yeah.
It was. I didn't think it was that good.
Nope.
We had a Tyrone Biggums cameo during that, but that was pretty much it. Mos Def was in it. Mos Def makes a lot of appearances throughout all of Chappelle's show. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Oh, I do love when he talked about, and then there was the battle at the Kool Mo D concert,
Right.
which took place at the
Kool Mo D concert. What was I going to say? Oh, I think the funniest part of this whole thing was when they got his body.
Oh,
And they were like the fucking
They did
were
up the
like
corpse.
high-fiving the corpse, like and then like throwing him.
yeah.
Like, oh, stepping on your shoes. Oh, look at his shoes. And he's wearing like high heels.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that was pretty funny.
That part I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was a little contrived.
Mm-hmm. Then we had
They were Nikes.
yeah. Then we had the last of the movies in real life because he had been doing these throughout the whole first season. We saw like the Ghost.
Right.
What other ones did we see? The Matrix. Hello, Morpheus. Psych!
Psych!
It's me, Earl. I need your stapler. So yeah, now finally we get Deep Impact.
Right.
Which I thought this was a funny one. I always enjoyed this sketch because it starts off with Morgan Freeman as the president,
Here's Paula. Here's another Paula. Here's another Paula.
Now
I'm gonna take these 3 white bitches with me.
yeah. The problem with this sketch is I don't know how many people today would get the Deep Impact reference. Like anybody born after fucking 2000, I don't know if anybody's ever fucking seen that movie, like kids that age.
I mean,
Yeah, I remember it because I saw that movie in theaters, but
I did not see this movie. I saw this movie way late.
did you?
Yeah, because remember Deep Impact came out at the same time as the
Armageddon.
other Armageddon movie.
Yeah.
And I saw Armageddon in the theater.
Because that was the thing in Hollywood. Like there was a year where there were 2 volcano movies,
Right.
And then there was the year where there were 2 asteroid movies.
And let's face it, Deep Impact had Morgan Freeman. Armageddon had fucking Bruce Willis,
yeah,
and Steve Buscemi and Liv Tyler.
and the Aerosmith song. I don't want to miss a thing.
And Liv Tyler.
Right.
It was at that point in her fucking career was just
It was probably a package deal. It's like, all right, if you want Liv for the movie, you've also got to add this cheesy Aerosmith song to the soundtrack, and you have to play it over and over again.
don't want to close my eyes. Don't want to fall. Speaking of short people, I know Helmet Fire was talking about his how he doesn't like short people. That's why he doesn't like Tom Cruise, because
What
he's
the
short.
fuck, man?
Well, he doesn't like short people that pretend to be tall.
Oh.
And,
I make no bones about what I am.
And
so.
Aerosmith is one of those people, because platform shoes and shit like that.
Yeah, you told your concert story.
Yeah, even with that, Aerosmith's still fucking tiny.
When you say Aerosmith, you mean Steven Tyler, right? Aerosmith is not the name of the person.
The whole band is like that. The fucking
Okay.
him, the fucking guitar player, Aerosmith.
Okay. All right.
As a whole,
they're all short.
They combine into fucking a Voltron, and even the combo is fucking short.
It's like 8 feet tall,
Right?
With them all on their shoulders. Okay, fair enough.
It's like a Little Rascals skit with the fucking.
Yeah, but okay. So anyway, getting back to the Deep Impact.
Speaking of things that people won't get if they're fucking.
Yeah, right. The Deep Impact discussion. The reason why I like Deep Impact more than Armageddon was because Deep Impact actually had one of the fucking asteroids hitting Earth.
Right.
Whereas in most of those movies, it's like, oh, we saved Earth just in time. Well, it's like, no.
Don't want to close my eyes.
And I thought that was kind of cool because it hit the fucking ocean and then you see the.
Yeah.
And
then everything goes black because you don't survive that.
Right.
The world ends. That's it.
Yeah, because they failed to mention like the amount of heat that would be created by the asteroid going into the atmosphere. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's scientifically so inaccurate.
Oh. It was a fun movie though.
Was it?
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, but Morgan Freeman as
the
Chappelle
president.
is, like, okay. The article where he holds up the article. Is like,
you motherfuckers make me sick. Well,
I said it.
And you know what? I mean, the media does that. They'll do that shit. They did that shit to Obama. You want to talk about like foretelling and everything. When Obama was president, there were certain media outlets that fucking blamed him for everything. Absolutely everything. Even shit that would have been out of his control 100%. Thanks, Obama.
Right.
That's where that shit started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it was a little foreshadowing. Like he knew like the first black president was going to take a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
So, but yeah.
I deliberately didn't mention fucking Miss Lopez's fucking on again squeeze of Ben Affleck in the Armageddon movie.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Because fuck him. Fuck fat Batman. I can't even. I didn't even like him in fucking Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
I didn't like him in Dogma. He was probably my least favorite character in Dogma.
Yeah, well, he was pretty much the villain-ish.
In Dogma?
Yeah.
I mean,
By the end, he was.
yeah, but it's still, he's just a prick.
Well, we'll put a pin in that because we need to cover like all of the Kevin Smith movies.
Dogma. That's a good movie.
At some point. Maybe we'll start looking at that stuff when Clerks 3 comes out.
Yep. See, I'm a fire nose. He gets it.
What do you say this time?
Fat Batman's a putz.
Oh my god. What you guys are all kinds of haters today. The play I hate is ball.
Haters gonna hate.
Lovers gonna love. I don't even want
none of the above. I want to piss on you. Drip, drip, drip.
Okay, so anyway, the Deep Impact one, it was all right. It was, again, may not hold the test of time, and the fucking alien Bibble. His effects are...
The Bibble, the dribble, and all about Bibble.
I.
Yeah.
I'm taking those 3 cloned white bitches with me.
Yep.
So
now but could you imagine, like, all right, I'm the president. We're all going to fucking die. Yeah. Yes, it was a magic bullet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was good.
A real magic bullet.
Yeah.
And magic is real.
Mm-hmm.
Did I blow your mind yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, here's cure for AIDS. Hey, here. Sorry about last night.
Have a great weekend. All right, and then at the end, Dave's on stage and the white men come to take him away, as foreshadowed by Paul Mooney earlier in the episode. And that was episode 10. I mean, you can't go wrong with the R. Kelly. Like
No.
I've already mentioned it several times. One of the more well-known sketches of all of Chappelle's show.
Mm-hmm.
So can't go wrong.
Agreed. It is easily one of the best ones in the whole show, and then definitely one of the best ones in season 1.
Yep. And again, relevant now because he finally saw justice after all these years. And, you know, a lot of it started with that fucking tape of him pissing on the girl.
Yep.
And eventually it got 20 years later
Yeah.
where he landed himself in prison where he's probably going to be for the rest of his life.
Drip, drip, drip.
That's right. Different kind of drips for his future. Episode 11
Yeah.
starts off with another musical beat. With he comes out and starts talking about the new 50 Cent song, album that he got and listened
Right.
to, and then of course it progresses into now everybody's trying to sign like anybody from the streets, thinking they're going to be the new 50 Cent, and then we get a preview tape for another new act that's coming called Fisticuffs,
Right.
and this is the Turn My Headphones Up. Another sketch that I always loved. Always loved this sketch. Always thought it was really well done. The timing, the dialogue in it is fucking perfect. The way he treats it and the way it's such a parody of the fucking rap at the time.
Yeah, because I can recall a couple different rappers. One of them was shit. I can't recall. Oh, fucking cool.
Well, I know you're talking. If you're talking like Eminem, he has the start of one of his songs where it's like, "Turn my headphones up a little more," you know.
No, it wasn't Eminem. It was a fuck.
He did have that in one of his songs though.
I believe you. Eminem actually did a song with this guy.
Fisticuffs,
No,
50 Cent,
just keep going. I'll come up with it.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
No. Coolio.
Oh,
Coolio did it. Turn my headphones up.
did
Like he does it in the beginning of the song, almost exactly like this.
Oh,
Turn my headphones up.
I-
Yeah.
the only Coolio song I know is Gangster's Paradise, and then the one before that, Fantastic Voyage. Two very different songs. And then I thought he like died or something after that because I never heard from him again.
Is it Coolio? May not be. Might be somebody different. I might be thinking around.
I was gonna say I've never heard of Eminem and Coolio doing a duet before, but I would like to hear that. Are you just gonna Google it now?
Yeah.
In the middle of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my thing. It's what I do.
Yeah. Well, okay, so while you're doing that, the best part of this whole sketch is the fact that all these things that he's saying are like planned parts of the song, right? Like the whole, turn my headphones up. I'm serious, turn them up.
Yeah, he's writing the lyrics to this
And like it goes to a clip of him performing in front of an audience, and he's like, "Turn my headphones up a little more," and he's not even wearing headphones. Is like,
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the whole gimmick is that the song lyrics are him in the studio going, "This one, I said my left ear." Still nothing.
Sorry, Helmet Fire fucking sent me a text and it distracted me.
Oh. I can't read what that's saying.
Oh my god.
You can't.
Look at my phone.
That's good.
Now it's distracted everybody.
I know, right?
That's starting the show completely off the rails.
So yeah, way to go.
You might as well have just posted it. So what was I looking up? I don't think it's Coolio.
Yeah,
I think
Coolio and Eminem's alleged duet.
it's not. I don't think it's Coolio. Hang on. I'm going to go into playlists.
Oh my god. What iPhone is that, by the way?
This is the 13 Pro.
Okay, because I was thinking about getting a 13. I think they're called Pro Max.
It's a little bit bigger than this one.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'm due for an upgrade. If you can see, my phone's seen better days.
Yeah.
See if you can see it on the video. This is just like the biggest derailment sidebar ever.
Now we're talking about phones. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to get your shit together.
Just keep going.
Anyway, so
Busta Rhymes.
well, I love the one part too where the beat keeps dropping out. There's and then and it stops.
Yeah.
And his timing's always terrible. It's like, all right, you ready to get it? All right, and the beats comes off, and he's like, what happened? And it kicks in again. Bow, bow. So I thought it was a funny sketch. Very simple, very silly. What are you doing?
Hang on. Ready?
Yeah. Let's turn my mic up.
Well, I mean, same difference.
Yeah. No, it's the same concept.
It took me
sure.
4 minutes to fucking come up with that.
Yeah. Was it worth it, Dave?
It was for me.
Who was it, by the way? Was it Coolio?
No, it was Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Busta Rhymes, not Coolio.
All right.
Same hair. Listen, the file cabinet, or let's say the hard drive that is my fucking brain needs to be defragged. Let's just say that.
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Get rid of some excess that doesn't need to be there.
If it'd be great if I could do a fucking SSD replacement, but I don't think they do that yet.
No. I think we had SSDs when we were younger, and then we degraded to to the disk based.
Yeah, my platters are fucking jamming together. I don't know. I don't know what happened, Archie. That's where the voices come from. I don't know what's happening. It's my brain. It's not the hard drive platters. I don't know what I'm even talking about. I don't even know.
Oh my god! Anything else on the?
No, I don't know. No, there's nothing.
I should see if I have anything on my notes.
I don't listen to hip hop.
Right. Have you heard of the Emancipation Proclamation?
I don't listen to hip hop.
All right. Then we move into him talking about Make-A-Wish. This was another sketch that I always really liked, where he goes to visit the Make-A-Wish kid who happens to be playing street hoops.
Right.
Well, he's already made one video game reference earlier in the season when you had the GTA one.
Right.
The GTA in real life.
Which
where
was
he's like,
fucking great. I love that. I love that. We're talking about doing a 30? Like Vice City was 30? Isn't that what we're doing?
no, 20.
20.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he even mentions in that Chappelle show sketch, like, oh yeah, my whole life was like Vice City. Was it? Maybe that was season 2 that he did that. Because that would have been I don't know. Whatever. No, it would have been season 1. All right. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, he sits down with his fucking Make-A-Wish kid, who's like dying of cancer, and he notices the kid. Oh, you playing a little video game there? He's like, yeah, you want to play? It's like, oh, you sure? It's like, yeah. So he hands him the controller. He's like, all right, and then they're playing the Street Hoops basketball game. And they're playing, it's going fine.
Oh, yeah, it's nice and a little back and forth.
Yeah, and then the kid scores, and he's like, hooray for me! And Dave gets that fucking look on his face.
Hooray for me.
Yeah, fine, you little bitch. You ain't gonna score no more, though. And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of him in the game. And he's got a line that I would still quote for years after this. You can't deny me, Billy. You can't deny me. It's too real for you.
Yes.
I would fucking use that line all the time.
And out of context, nobody fucking has any idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
But that and the like,
Yeah.
like, pick up the sticks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's too real for you.
Better pick up them little sticks, white boy. Get back to the game.
Oh, I should have left you dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a fun little sketch. I liked it.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And still holds up, I think. It's good concept.
Poor Make-A-Wish kids.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man.
And then we move into the final sketch, the magic video camera.
Right.
And there's no introduction.
Nope.
Like there's no Dave on the stage introducing the next one. They roll right into it after a commercial break.
I'm here to buy a gremlin. Ah, psych.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it looked like.
Oh yeah. Like old Asian guy in a musty shop.
Who like rises up. I wonder if that was like in the script at all.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we don't want you to walk in. We don't want you to
rise up.
Like, so you're gonna squatting down.
Yeah. And
action. Like you're on an elevator.
And
Like,
again,
no, it's too jerky. We got to do it again.
and
All
of course,
right,
he's got that grin on his face too, like when he's coming up.
Oh, hello.
And it's like, how do you not start busting out laughing?
It's like,
yeah.
oh, hello.
And so he explains to him the whole concept of the camera. It's like this, like,
Were you just about to do A Mongolian accent?
No, me no.
Mongolian?
Where he explains the four modes of the camera. One's like shows your true self.
Uncle Raja says.
The other one shows your inner thoughts, the last person you had sex with, and where you would be 10 years from now.
Right.
And he goes into a couple of situations.
No returns.
Right.
You can't. There's no returns. You cannot come back into the store.
And then I think he said, "Oh, I'll better work. I'll find you in the parking lot or something like that."
Right.
But the first person he bumps into is Carson Daly.
Right. Of all people.
Yeah.
Again, this is how you know they're just randomly in New York City, because where else is Carson Daly going to be in 2003?
Right. Now, I think, though, in 2003, so we get the TRL reference, right?
Right.
Like, TRL was fucking huge in, like, 99, 2000. 99.
94.
And, like, I thought it had already started to wind down at this point.
I don't fucking
But again, we're like 20 years removed at this point.
Look, TRL, I was so far beyond TRL at this point in the fucking streaming.
I always hated TRL. Like,
I just couldn't do it.
even in its heyday, I fucking hated it.
Oh,
But
look, we're on TV.
but we're wow. Oh, holy shit. Okay.
That could have went longer.
That's what she said. But anyway, we'll get into the TRL shit when we start talking about the music of like 98 and 99.
99.
94.
But anyway, so he bumps into Carson,
Right.
and he does the 10 years from now
Right.
mode on the camera, and it's like him. Where I love their interpretation of what he would look like 10 years from now. He's got the bald head, except for
Right.
like the one patch. He's got a
Fat,
big beer gut,
big
know.
fat belly.
Where Carson Daly probably looks as good now as he did back then.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's what all Hollywood people tend to do. Is they
Well, he was a little bit bigger for a minute, and then I think, what's he doing now? He's like on GMA or something, right?
oh he's always hosting some shit.
Yeah, he's
so.
doing something.
Yeah.
I only see him like when I'm in a doctor's office or some shit, and I got the TV on in the background. It's like, oh, fucking, is that Carson Daly?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's Michael Strahan on every fucking channel.
It's
Like,
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan. I was doing my best Mike Tyson impression.
But yeah, so he does the 10 years later, and it's still Carson still hosting TRL 10 years later in 2013.
And this is where it really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Right? Just hearing the date. Yeah. Right? Because I watched all three of these kind of like boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I watched Piss on You, and then the next day I watched 11 and 12. But when he said 2003, or when he said 2013, 10 years later, and yes, it's just like the fucking date just smashed me in the fucking face. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
And that was almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That the 2013, and they were like, "Oh, it's so long ago. Oh my god!" I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I have a coronary. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I'm calling Elizabeth. Oh my god! It did. It did. It hit me square in the face. I'm like, "Holy fuck! I can't." Yes, and I know this is how time works, and I fucking get it. But sometimes when it presents itself in this way, it kind of takes you by surprise a little bit.
Yeah, no,
and that's what it did to me.
And I felt the exact same way when we were watching it the other night. I'm like, fuck. 2013 was 10 years after this, but it was almost 10 years ago. It blows my mind to think that we're almost 20 years removed from the show. But we digress.
Dude, you could be born in this is like one of those stats that I just can't wrap my brain around.
Mm-hmm.
Like a kid born in 2000 is been legal to drink for an entire year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Born in 2000.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a knife and go open up some arteries in the bathtub.
Here, I got one for you. Nice and sharp.
Oh, I bet it'll do the trick. But anyway, maybe later. It's TRL in 2013. Carson's all like disheveled, and he's all fucking bitter too.
Right.
And it's like, well, you little fucker, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you be so excited for a video you've seen 50 fucking times in a row?
Fuck. That was the best one.
Yeah, the fuck at the end.
I had this. I'm watching this on, Netflix, obviously, and well, not obviously, because I have all the DVDs. But
Yeah,
it
as
was
do
way
I.
it was way easier to watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because I was watching on the computer, and I had the closed captioning up, and just to see him like fat fucking Carson. I was about to say Carson Wentz, fat fucking Carson Daly, and the word "fuck" underneath it, like "fuck." Like, oh, I bet you fucking 20 years ago you never thought you'd be captioned on TV saying that shit.
I know, right? And then of course Dave gives the line, "Save your money, dude."
Yeah, exactly.
He goes
Little
to
did he know.
Yeah, he goes to a party where it's like his friend's his very effeminate friend is proposing to his girlfriend, and he does the whole points the camera at her, last person she had sex with, and of course it was Dave. What? Hold on. Something on the chat. Wait. No. Yes. 2023 will be the no. Came out in 83. Okay, I guess, yeah. Math. We're talking about Return of the Jedi. Came up in the chat that it's going to be 40 years old next year. So
In less than a year.
less than a year. Anyway, let's put a pin in that. We'll have a panic attack next May when we talk about Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, Jason, I need. Oh my God, where's Ativan or something?
So anyway, he goes to the party where the guy's proposing to his girlfriend. Last person she had sex with was Dave.
Right.
You can see in the camera. Then she introduces him to her friend, which is played by Donnell Rawlings.
Right.
Who is
I'm rich, bitch.
such a great fucking actor. He's so funny in all of these sketches, and
Right.
he's like, "Oh, you're a funny dude," and he goes to the dance floor and he gives him that look as he's walking away, which you know exactly what's going on, and then he turns to the true self, and he's actually a woman. And,
Right. A woman with the fucking, the tight ass fucking thing wrapped around, like,
you know you want me, son. And then my favorite part of this scene was when he puts it on the white guy who's dancing in the inner thoughts.
Yes.
And one and two
and one and two and I'm normal face and 1 and 2 and 1. I'm like, yes, that's. If it wasn't so fucking true, if it wasn't so fucking true,
Yeah.
that's like, it's one of those things. And in the next episode with the trading spouses, when they're talking about some of
God.
the white person stuff, it's just
Yeah.
like, just stop telling it. Stop
Yeah, no,
telling our secrets.
Yeah, they're giving
Stop
away
telling
all
our
our
white people
secrets.
secrets. Who's is it? What's the white the guy who was writing with Chappelle? The fuck.
He had a couple of different writers.
Well, no, the one, not the main guy. Fuck. I can't think of his name. Anyway, one of those white writers on the fucking show was giving up our secrets.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God! Now I need to know that dude's name. I think it was Tomlinson.
I don't think that was his name.
Jimlinson.
Jesus Christ. And then I think after this was when he goes and turns the camera on himself.
Right.
And he does all 4 modes. Like the true self is like him as like a fucking lean, ripped, good looking black guy. He's
Right.
like, oh, nice.
Right.
Then he does
Neil Brennan.
Okay.
Neil Brennan.
Sure.
He was the main writer
All right.
with him. It's like the main cohort.
Yeah. That's right, because he's the guy in the half a season that they released after Dave left, where they did a sketch without Dave where he's sitting, in the writer's chair, and fucking Charlie Murphy and Donnell Rawlings come up to him and they're like, "Where's Dave?" He's like, "Africa." He's like, "Dun," and they're like crying. It's like, "I'm broke, bitch."
Yep.
But anyway, so he's turning the camera on himself. true self, pretty good, good looking dude. Last person he had sex with was like some old lady.
Right.
Like, would you like another pickle, son? He's
Right.
like, I gotta stop drinking.
I gotta stop drinking.
And then the 10 years from now, which was the best because it flips back to the Carson Daly 10 years from now on TRL.
Fuck.
And then Dave pops up and he looks like shit. He's got like fucking patches of hair and everything. He looks like a fucking bum, and he's giving a shout out to Justin Timberlake. And
Right.
apparently they were on Star Search together.
And remember me, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. And he's like, fuck this camera. Throws it out the window. And then we get another Tyrone Bigham's cameo. He was all over the place.
Right.
This season.
Oh, camera.
Yeah, then he does, it's the inner thoughts. And it's, I want some crack.
I want some crack.
And that was the end of that episode.
Right. It was a short, like, as far as content goes, it was a fairly short one because there was a long, I think De La Soul was the musical act. At the
Yeah,
end
and
of this
it
one.
was, that took a good like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was a
of the
long, it was a
episode.
long musical episode. So yeah, I skipped past that to get to episode 12.
Yep. Episode 12 starts off with the O'Dweeds commercial, which at the time
It's
made sense.
O'Dweeds, man.
Because, you had O'Doul's, which was the non-alcoholic beer.
Right.
So now it's like...
Sidebar, do you remember, I don't know, you may not have been in a unit.
Suck my unit.
There was a guy in our unit that was on alert, and he was drinking O'Doul's.
Okay.
And he's like, well, no, it's not beer. It's non-alcoholic.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, no, idiot. It has alcohol in it, though. It still has alcohol in it. It's just not, it's very, very little. So if you were going to go out and fly, right, you'd still, and say you fucking wreck the jet, and you go out and they fucking test you, you're still going to have alcohol in your fucking blood.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, your alcohol content's not going to be very high, but you'll still have been drinking.
Right.
Like, so if you're on alert, you shouldn't be fucking sitting there. Like, it's just, like, what kind of alcoholic are you that you need to fucking drink O'Doul's? Like, all right, look, you can't
Do
drink.
you think that was like it? You think he was a fucking alcoholic and
Yes!
he was just doing it to...
Yes.
Wow.
Like, I can't have real alcohol, so I'm going to convince myself that this is beer.
Sorry. Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Sorry. They probably can't even hear that at home either.
God, so distracting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But-
it's O'Dweeds, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because now, as fucking weed is becoming legal, so many places, it's legal here in fucking Jersey now.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sort of an irrelevant topic. It's interesting.
Well, it's
just-
interesting. Even more interesting that still 20 years later.
yeah.
That 3 years later. Is that drop still in there?
Oh.
3 years later.
It's 3 weeks later.
Well, I mean.
3 weeks later.
Anyway, random
Yeah.
sidebarring. Where was I going with that?
The weed legal in Jersey.
The weeds, man. No, it's 20 years and weed is still like a topic, though.
Yeah.
It's still part of the conversation that, like, whether it's legalized or not. The idea that, like, oh, hey, you can be smoking, but there's no THC. I mean, we still have that, right? We have with the oils and things like that. So
I have no fucking idea.
so it's still relevant, though. 20
Yeah.
years later, it's still the same conversation.
Yeah.
So it still actually is kind of relevant.
I guess I'm not familiar enough with the whole concept to.
Neither am I, unfortunately. I wish I was.
Yeah.
This is a very, very basic baseline level knowledge from the interwebs, and somebody who is trying to sell me CBD oil,
Oh.
and then me subsequently doing the research to make sure that no, you definitely cannot do that CBD oil and still have a security clearance.
Sad face.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I thought that was a fairly weak sketch overall.
Yep.
Moving on to the next one was, again, what I feel like was another really weak point. was the and one mixtapes,
Yeah.
the sports ones. Like I guess this was a thing in 2003. Guys like
Yeah, there was
making
like,
all these compilation tapes of like fucking just like sick plays.
well, for basketball,
Right.
Because the way it was set to music, and it like there was. I remember you actually used to be able. This was on television, like on channel 17 or something like that. Like it was on for like a couple hours after cartoons or whatever. Well, not necessarily after cartoons, but around that same time frame. Where if you were watching TV, it's like, oh, and here's like this street hoops, fucking, and it was like N1 type thing. Because remember, N1 ended up being a brand, right? It's something I think Walmart carried as a basketball brand, and you could buy N1 basketball shorts and stuff like that. So they actually monetized this brand,
Okay.
because of what was going on early on with this.
Well, I had no visibility on any of that back in the day, so
Yeah, it was a thing for sure. But the part that I didn't like about it is like the baseball bit. Like it was just too ridiculous.
yeah.
Like it was just too ridiculous. And there is such a thing. There is such a thing as too ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like sometimes this show can be too ridiculous. I know it, but I do it anyway.
Well, and he's clearly he's just trying things.
Right.
You
gotta take the bat and jump over it and then jump out again. I'm like, you're out, motherfucker. You're
Yeah.
out. So, but what's really funny is, if you're a baseball fan, right? There's a team. I don't know what league it is, but it's on my Instagram feed. I see it all the time because I think I follow the team now, and they're like the Bananas, right? They wear these yellow uniforms, and they do all kinds of crazy shit. And it's kind of along the lines of what they were trying to do with this. So
okay.
like when the pitcher's getting ready to pitch, like everyone in the infield winds up at the same time with the pitcher. So like you're watching it, and like the short, you can see all the players are all fucking winding up to pitch at the same time. Like, and then the pitcher throws, or the hitter will do something like with the bat, and I'll hit the ball from like behind him or some shit like that. And it's like legit baseball. It's like it's not like single or double A or anything like that, but it's like, think Atlantic League. Like, these are obviously ball players, but it's for entertainment. Harlem Globetrotters,
Right,
more along
right.
those lines.
Okay.
But it's entertaining, and they're still able to play baseball. It's not like this where you're like standing there and jumping over the fucking bat and shit like that.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah, and I thought this whole sketch was kind of lame.
oh, except for the bowling one was kind of funny. There was elements to the bowling one with the fucking, he's got it in his shirt and he's kind of pushing it out like he's birthing it.
Right.
Send it down the lane. I thought I'd laughed out loud for that.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Then
Gutterball. The shots,
Gutterballs was the guy's name. Yeah.
The shots in the very beginning, like where you get the freeze frame and it would give the names. Those were good too. I mean, there were clever aspects of it, but the actual sports bits, it wasn't there.
Yeah, and then you have another sports sketch right after this, where they do like the shouting out of the names.
Kobe.
Yeah, and again, some very dated references, some that I don't even think I got. I recognize the names, but like the act or whatever they were doing, I'm like,
Rasheed Wallace.
right, and I'm just like, did he get busted for drugs?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He did.
Yeah.
Now the dude in the passenger seat, I don't remember what he did.
Yeah. Or the guy that was getting stabbed, like I don't.
Spreewell.
I don't know.
I remember that too.
Yeah, what that reference was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But Dave brought this concept back in season 2 when he during the non-disclosure agreement episode where he's like fucking the chick and he like prematurely ejaculates
tonight.
And then he's got the
Gonna take you on a journey, girl.
then he's got the condom and he's like Kobe.
Yep.
So, but yeah, again, another fairly weak sketch in my opinion. Then he's got a really quick bit. Musical bit where they do the diarrhea song with a choir.
So the best part about this was the People magazine. So he starts this with he's in the audience, right? So he's like standing in front of the audience, and he says, the People magazine wrote that his humor was sophomoric and
immature.
So it's like, and to them, I would dedicate this sketch. And he comes over and he's got the fucking all white women choir.
Yep.
Yeah, standing there. And he proceeds to sing the diarrhea song.
Mm-hmm.
That, every kid in scout camp knows the fucking diarrhea song.
And they had the lyrics on the bottom
Right,
too, which
exactly.
is great.
So you could sing along to it.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing about Dave Chappelle that I've noticed over the years is he gets very defensive of his work, like super defensive.
Right.
He
Hence why he's in like so much. Well, I won't say trouble now because he's.
I think he's beyond being able to be canceled or in trouble or anything like that.
It's not trouble. It's the. He just doesn't give a shit. Like he said what he said.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, all right, I stand by that.
Yeah,
like,
and he doesn't apologize or anything, but he does get defensive though. Like you can tell it gets to him whenever there's any kind of critique of his work.
Right. Yeah, I got sophomoric and
but
it's immature for you.
But when he
cue the diarrhea song.
Right, but when that happens, he doubles down on it.
Mm-hmm.
When they say like, "Oh, you can't make transgender jokes in this fucking stand-up sketch or stand-up show that you did." Well, in this one that follows, he does even more.
Right.
Just to like fucking be like, "Oh, you're gonna tell me what I can or can't do, motherfuckers?"
Yeah. I don't even. Let's. I want to save part of that conversation for the end because I have something to say about that.
Okay.
We'll save the part of that conversation for the end. But the diarrhea choir singing a camp song that everyone fucking knows and loves.
Diarrhea.
Like hitting a diarrhea.
Yeah.
Diarrhea. It's just like like you said, he doubles down on it. Like, hey, fuck you. Here's a fucking diarrhea song for you.
And then
got sophomoric.
We started off this episode with a very iconic Chappelle sketch, and we finished with one as well. The Trading Spouses.
We didn't start this episode with a very iconic sketch.
The R. Kelly.
Oh no! Well, we started off our
episode.
Oh
yeah. I'm talking like the first thing that we talked
our
about.
Sequence.
Yeah, and then we finished with one as well with the Trading Spouses because this is another very well known one.
All right.
Very popular sketch at the time.
Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard.
And this is our introduction to Leonard Washington, who becomes a character in a couple other episodes in season 2. My name's Leonard Washington. Where I'm from, little town called none of your goddamn business.
Yep. This is the Samuel L. Jackson analog.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's pretty much the same character,
and it's fucking perfect.
Oh yeah,
because like, the best is when we're gonna trade spouses, and this was a thing. This was a thing in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like they're doing this. These were the TV shows.
I remember that show. Kristen used to watch that show, and I'd kind of watch over her shoulder.
They're going
sometimes.
interracial, right? And so they did this, and then Leonard Washington comes in the door, and when he shuts it, he's like looking.
Yeah, he's like he locks the door.
They're coming to get me now, right? And he looks. And she's like, "Hey," and he like gives her a hug or whatever. He's like, "I don't smell no dinner cooking."
Oh yeah,
like go and cook me some grits.
Go
on.
It's just like
she's like, "I guess I can go and do
it." And I even like the like as soon as he walks in, the kid's like, "Oh, can I call you daddy?" He's like, "Hell no, only your mama calls me daddy."
That's right. Yeah, it's. This isn't the first. This isn't the first time we see white Dave Chappelle, is it?
No, because he played him in the news, all the newscasts.
That's right. It was in the news one.
Yeah.
What's the
Chuck?
race? That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I start mixing up the episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
so many good parts of this fucking episode.
Right.
Oh God. I'm thinking about like
take your pajama bottoms off. I just prefer to go pull through the hole.
Yeah, I like when the kid's listening to the 50 Cent.
Mm-hmm.
The hell are you listening to? It's the new 50 Cent. I'm from the streets, man. G-Unit.
Yeah, it's another line that's used frequently.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Yeah. All right, here you are, the hood. Say hi to your people for me.
Let them know Leonard Washington made it out.
Yeah, and he fucking kicks him out of the car and whoop, drives off. Oh fuck! What else? One of my favorite lines again when the way he's Leonard's talking to the wife. She's like, "Just so you know, Todd would normally clean up the dishes after dinner. Well, just so you know, his ass will be back April 13th.
That's right.
Go on and do your thing, girl.
Yeah, go on.
You want me to light your cigarette for you too? Better check your tone, girl.
Better check your tone. Use that indoor voice, not that outdoor voice, or you're gonna find yourself outdoors.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah,
so much.
Leonard makes the fucking thing.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Renee Zellweger?
Wedger. What does they're sitting on this shitter, and it's like
They're reading the magazine.
yeah, it's like what racial profiling.
Yeah.
What is this? This is just
And that's kind of brought out from one of his older stand-up routines, where if you remember, he's talking about how white people didn't know about police brutality until
Right.
years later, until they read it in like People magazine. And he's like, honey, have you seen this article? Apparently the police are beating up Negroes like hotcakes.
that's right. It was in one of his first thing. It's that
Yeah.
God damn it. Sidebar. So I want everyone to look, if they're watching this on YouTube, I want you to look at your screen right now. Right? I want you to look at my hat, the Beavis analog of my, right? And look at the American flag. And then look at the blue field, and then go to the left of that. See that there's like a little mark in blue. You see that little mark right there? It's above the like crack in the thing, and there's like
Yeah.
a little mark.
Yeah.
Every fucking week,
You try
every
to rub
week,
that off?
I try and fucking rub that off like it's something on my screen. Every goddamn week, I do it. And I'll do it multiple times per episode. Like, I'll fucking forget that, oh, look, I'm going to get that thing off. No, it's there. Fuck! Like, every fucking week I do it. Now, I'm hoping that I've said it out loud, that it'll remind me and I won't do it anymore.
Right.
So,
I'm sure it'll bother you again.
oh, I'm sure it will. This is the level of psychosis that I have. People.
Then of course we had the bedroom scenes with them where he found a vibrator. It's like, what is this bitch, a lightsaber?
Yes. So I had to, yes.
I smell your lightsaber.
Smell your lightsaber. Oh, don't worry. Like, it's like I don't go downstairs. It's like, oh, don't worry, I'm waxed. What? Yeah, I'm waxed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, girl,
I heard of trimming the hedges.
you scorched the earth. I smell your lightsaber.
And then of course we had the conclusion where they kind of ask him questions afterwards, and this is where you mentioned the giving up all the white people secrets.
Right. Well, no, you get the therapy one where she's like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
never going to forgive you for this.
Bitch, I'll never forgive you for this.
Get in the car, get it warmed up. Go on now.
Now look, I ain't crazy, and if you tell anybody I've been here, I'll fucking kill you.
No, this is all confidential.
Well,
Good.
confidentially,
I
I
am
am crazy, and I'll fucking kill you.
That's fucking great.
Oh, I love Leonard. Leonard might be one of the best characters in all of Chappelle's show.
Yeah, I'm
So
telling you,
good.
it's that Samuel L. Jackson analog. So much so that if you notice that her lightsaber, it actually has like a purple color to it. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did not.
Yeah.
Very
So when
nice.
he's wielding it, it looked like he has a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, which he's made Mace Windu references earlier
Right.
in the season.
Yep.
So it was good
Yeah.
stuff.
Hopefully you at home picked up on that as well.
Indeed. And then we go into the post interview where they're
Right.
like, oh, I learned a lot. And, Leonard's like, talking about white people using the same bar of soap.
White people, everyone's the same. He's like, they have kids,
Make love from time to time.
and wash. So white people don't use washcloths.
Yeah.
They have one bar of soap. They don't warn me when it like that different pubic hair all on the fucking soap.
And I'm like, yeah. It is what it is. It's just-
Don't stop telling the secrets. Stop telling the secrets.
yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately, I think the only time that I've ever used like a washcloth was like at my grandparents' house.
Yeah. Yeah, we never used them growing up. Like I was never exposed to them in that manner.
You get
You get the fucking soap and you
fucking get lathered up and hose it off, and then fucking good to go.
yeah. It's just the way it was.
Washcloth and the extra piece of laundry for what?
I know, right?
That's filled with soap, and then it gets into the fucking
Yeah,
into
you
the
can't,
washer.
can't reuse it, so you gotta throw it out every time.
Well, I mean, you're not throwing it out
I mean, throwing it into the wash.
into the washer.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hang it up, I guess, but
Yeah, I
Then
don't think
what?
it'll. Yeah.
or if somebody else grabs it, that's been up your asshole. Like soap
typic-
is soap. I mean, just if soap was see, and here's part of the problem. Like, I could see both sides of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to really go here, but
No, you've already taken us down this path.
the
so-
reality of like soap, the way soap works, right, is soap is supposed to encapsulate dirt, right?
Yeah.
That's how soap works.
Yeah.
So soap in and of itself shouldn't get dirty
Right.
because the dirt would be encapsulated. So soap doesn't get dirty,
Sure.
right?
Mhm.
So then that bar of soap is not dirty per se.
Right.
So you could,
But it can't have hair stuck all over it.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Like have some fucking
Yeah,
have some decency.
Yeah, you gotta like rinse it off.
Although
like,
if you
hold
got-
it under the water.
If you have broads in the house, it's gonna fucking happen. Fucking hair everywhere. It's the nature of things. It can't be helped.
Yeah.
Not that dudes are any better, but it fucking
Yeah. For us, it's like arm and leg hairs. For them, it's everywhere. Head hairs, like. Go to clean my drain in the shower. It's like there's an animal in there. It's like Jesus Christ.
you don't have to tell me, brother. You do not have to tell me.
Uh,
Anyway, hey,
Anyway.
Dragon Buddy's in there.
hey, hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
Dragon Buddy. Hope the family's
Oh,
all right.
He's home for the night, picking him up in the morning.
Excellent.
That's good. It's good news. Things must be progressing well.
All right.
I hope. Anyway,
And that was the end of season
it
1.
was, and I'll tell you that for episode 12, I actually watched the musical.
Yeah,
at
typically
the
I always, even back in 2003, I would kind of skip past the musical acts most episodes.
Yeah, I watched the end of this one because there's, being eclectic music listener, like there's some, like Mos Def, like there's some like just regular, just rap. Like it was just like old school, kind of like Rum DMC style,
Yeah.
like rapping, and I just was like, oh, it was a good
Nothing wrong
story.
with
It
that,
was
yeah.
good storytelling,
Yeah.
and I think that there's something to be said for that. So I enjoyed it. It was a good way to end the season.
Yeah.
But it was very like, if you think about how good season 2 was, like the way season 1 ended, it was almost like,
Yeah.
the Training Spouses was a good skit. It's a good skit, bitch.
Yeah.
But
And he even mentioned too, like he's like, we'll hopefully see you next year.
Yep.
Like it was his last words to the crowd. So
and he showed up big
yeah.
for the next fucking year.
Yeah. And I'm curious, like I have to just to oh my God, stop it.
What are you doing?
I'm trying.
Oh my God, it's so fucking loud.
I know.
Jesus.
this thing.
Jones.
I just want to see what the first sketch in season 2 is. Because I honestly don't remember.
Lover's gonna love.
Oh, it starts off with one of the best sketches ever. Oh my God.
Play it.
Well, they're not going to hear it.
I just want you to play it. Woo-hoo-hoo! You turned it all the way down.
I did. I mean,
Now you finally did.
they're not going to hear it. So
I
I
love
don't even know
these
why
two
we're
guys.
playing.
Oh, this is fucking great. All right. Yeah.
I'll have
All
a
right.
Scotch in the Rocks. I'll have a Samuel Adams. I'll have a Samuel Jackson. Good motherfucking choice, motherfucker. Oh my God. All right, I'm closing the fucking window.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So, I mean, already season 2, we get started off like fucking on a high note.
Yep.
So, can't wait to get to season 2.
Yes.
And I mean, closing out season 1, it had some good stuff, obviously. R. Kelly and some other really iconic sketches. But yeah, it was just him kind of finding his groove.
Yeah.
And then,
What can I get away with?
yeah,
What's
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it too. Like
Yeah.
getting past the network censors and everything.
right. Like what can I get away with? How's the with our writers and how do we want this to flow? What can we do with skits? How do we do to kind of break things up? And I think there was less emphasis in season 2 on the musical act. You don't have 6-minute long musical acts,
Right.
Cutting into what skits you're running in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was much more meat in the show. You still have the musical stuff.
Oh yeah,
Because he had all his buddies, in there doing their musical things. But just thought of a fucking John Mayer.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, John Mayer on
John
an
Mayer.
episode, and the
Play the
drummer.
riff.
I can't wait. I can't wait. But yeah, I think season 1 was just kind of like, hey, he had a great stand up routine, and he incorporates a lot of his thoughts into this first season, kind of overdeveloping his stand up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now season 2, it's like it's probably a lot of other shit that he had written. And I think that's a lot of what this is. I think a lot of what Chappelle Show is like, okay, here's my stand up, and let's see what this looks like played out. Right? How do we fully flesh this out? One of the Make-A-Wish, right? If you watch to the end of the just after I guess when he says I'll be back or whatever, have a good night.
Oh yeah.
And then like right after that he talks about how for the Make-A-Wish, he was like they were playing in the like the tour bus or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they were playing a video game, and apparently he was losing to somebody. He's like, man, you would beat me if I was dying of cancer. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then so they fucking wrote a sketch about it. So that to me is like, all right, you're basically piecing this shit together. And then probably season 2 is like, okay, now we're writing a sketch show.
Yeah. There's actually a great moment in season 2 where he does give a little behind the scenes, where there's one episode where it's all like deleted sketches that didn't make the final cut.
Yep.
And he's like, and here's some of these. And like one of them started off with Charlie Murphy calling him up like, oh, I got a great idea for a sketch. And then it blew up into this whole big thing. So
yeah,
you kind of get a little idea to the origins of some of this stuff.
Yeah. And look, we're talking the Chappelle Show stuff that we're doing because we like Chappelle and we like the show. And it's part of our upbringing,
Yeah, though we were in our 20s at this point.
Yeah, but you're talking about as military guys, like this was kind of like some of our entertainment.
Oh yeah, like this South Park.
Yeah. This is stuff that we like. Fuck, when the jet was empty, we were playing this in the damn airplane.
Right.
We were fortunate to have that ability, or we're putting it in our laptops and watching it on the jet because it was on DVD, and having the whole fucking season on DVD to be able to watch over and over and over again when you're on a long leg was fucking fantastic. So we got a lot of this, and it was in our vernacular, and there was a large group of us, and this is how we were interacting. So it was a big part of us. We're not talking about Chappelle right now because of what's going on with him between the LBGTQ community. There's more to that. I can't remember it though.
Gay.
So
I need that drop.
Yeah. So saying that, like, whatever. To me, Dave Martin's opinion, right? Dave Martin's opinions are his own, and I think Chappelle, his art and his stand up, he speaks a lot of truth.
Oh yeah,
and he speaks his truth. Like, this is what he believes, and he tells it in a funny way.
Yep.
And he is the storyteller of our time.
Yeah.
And he tells the story like it is. Like he's the guy who I want to tell people about racism and like how do you combat this, that, and the other thing? Like how do these things represent? Because I feel like his point of view, he can tell it in a certain way. Like there's a lot of like, even in season 2, it starts getting kind of like, it starts to get a little bit more, I don't know what the proper word I'm trying to think of, but he gets a little bit more militant sometimes,
sure,
more than others. But even with that, it's like, that's his burden to bear. That's his cross to bear. And I appreciate how he bears it.
Yeah.
And him having a problem with that community. Okay. He's not running from it. Like he's not deliberately throwing spears because of hate or anything like
and
that.
That's the biggest.
It's just like, this is what I think. And I said it the other day, not related to Chappelle, but along the same lines, a comedian like Bill Burr, right? Who kind of is basically the same generation of comedian. And, you know, Bill Burr, who is now fucking canonically famous in fucking Star Wars,
Hell
right?
yeah.
We have there's a fucking Black Series figure of him.
Yep. From the
sacred Jedi. Black Series!
I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. No, Bill Burr was saying something about, you know, how like the WNBA, why haven't all these groups and basically, hey, you've had the WNBA for decades. Like, how come you're not championing that? Like, how come you're not at every game? How come you're not celebrating this? You know, and filling the stands to celebrate something that women are doing.
Sure.
You're not doing that. Like, you're choosing a level of activism instead of supporting some other group because it's flashier and you know, the role of an activist is way more important to you than it is to actually support people.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm using different words than he used because he said it way more eloquently than I did because it's his job. But these are comedians. These are people that get up in front of people, other people, and they say these things. And Chappelle is one of those where I'm not going to agree with them 100% of the time, and I don't think we're meant to.
No.
Like, okay, I don't agree with that, but it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate funny is funny, right? Half the shit I say isn't people don't agree with, I'm sure, but I try to be funny about it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be likable. You cannot like what my opinion, but you can like me. Like, just because I have a shit opinion, you can still like me.
Yeah. And I mean, in a perfect world, we should be able to make jokes about any group, you know, that's not out of malice or hate, but just a joke to make a joke and people not lose their fucking shit.
Yeah. I said it to Kathy the other day, and I truly believe this, that we are in a world right now that's like, if this was if we're talking centuries ago, that this is this person wronged us. Let's go to their house with pitchforks and torches and fucking drag them out to be basically castrated in front of the town.
That's essentially what they're doing, or what they're trying to do with a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's what social media is. Social media is the fucking town going to somebody's house and attempting to drag them out into the middle of the courtyard to either stone them or, you know, pick your fucking thing in whatever medieval time period.
Yeah.
Or
because it's easy to create that mob on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a mob mentality.
Yeah,
it really is, and it's terrifying sometimes. One
of the reasons why I don't have Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Twitter's useful for some things.
Can be, which is why I just, I'll read somebody's feed. You can read somebody's feed without having to have an account. So
there you go. See, it is a tool.
Yep,
it is a tool. It's all
a tool.
Sometimes.
Anything else on Chappelle before we close this up?
No. I can't wait to do season 2.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be great.
Cool, man. Well, I suppose you don't have anything else Red 5 wise like you normally would.
I have just our normal, some normal end stuff.
Okay.
That I will.
Well, if you have your normal stuff that you want to stick in the end, then.
Hey, I got bear down a little bit.
If you just use the right amount of lube, it's fine. It just goes right in.
You would know. Let's see. I think J-Lo can.
She can take the week off.
She can take this week off.
We don't want oversaturation.
You put her to work before the show.
True. Yeah, she already did her bit.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the
sacred Jedi. Black Series!
So, we could have We could have Edith do the fucking notes. So
You could
really what it comes down to is you can find us. What is that? What voice
It
is
sounded a little bit like Mama. Do it for Mama.
Do it for Mama.
You're probably gonna have, you're probably gonna have a mix of
There's
people in
four,
there.
4 or 5 different voices. Let's see. What can we do? Any requests out of the peanut gallery?
Don't ask me.
All right, we could do the televangelist one.
Oh God. Can you pull that off for a whole read?
You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to YouTube, audio, Patreon, and our latest Spotify music mixtape, and all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. We have t-shirts and hoodies in a wide variety of designs, sizes, and colors. There are Sidebar Cantina face masks, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, and pins. Just about anything you can imagine. Please tag us with your merch so Luna Girl can share it on the socials. Reviews! Please write us a 5-star review on Apple. Don't have an Apple account? Our Facebook page has review feature too. Just screenshot it before you hit done and DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter. Tell us what you love or even hate about the show. And if Lopez or Hank or somebody will read your review word for word on our next episode. Plus, Luna Girl will send you swag. So do it for Mama.
Do it.
Anyway.
That was way too natural. That was good. That was really good. Like just like nothing. Like you've been doing that for years.
I've never done it before, ever. So next week,
I mean, right now on the docket we have My Cousin Vinny,
Right.
which was replacing White Men Can't Jump.
right?
But we've also talked about changing some things up, so I don't know.
Right.
TBD.
Yeah. So I know Lunar. I don't think Lunar Girl's listening right now.
Yeah.
But just throwing it out there for those listeners who happen to be still with us for right now on the YouTubes, and for our audio listeners once they get this episode eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Jason,
Soon.
eventually,
When will then be now?
soon.
Yes.
How soon? I think we're talking about doing more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I
Kind
think
of shifting
Yeah.
direction again.
Yeah, I think we're pivoting
Yeah.
back towards
No name changes or anything
no,
like
no,
that.
no. That fucking
We're the Sidebar Cantina forever
yeah.
now.
That's just the way it's going to be, because no
Yeah.
matter what we're doing, we're sidebarring the shit out of everything. But
yeah.
I've Jason and I have both we've had a little hankering for some more Star Wars cowbell.
Yeah, getting back to our roots a little bit more.
Yeah.
At least as a temporary shift, we're malleable.
Malleable.
Malleable,
Yes,
yes.
that's the word.
So like we can for a while focus on Star Wars for several months, and then we'd be like, all right, we're ready to start looking at something else for a little while. That's the beauty of our final form.
All right, so I'm not going to look at the chat right now. I'm not going to look.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to bet that from the timing that's going to, so we said Sidebar Cantina is going to be doing more Star Wars focus, right? So we said that out loud. I'm not looking at the chat.
Mhm.
And there's going to be a Republic Commando chat post from a certain person who's drawn the thing that I'm looking at right now.
The sacred Bronco Fett.
Yes.
Nothing yet.
There it is! Oh God, I'm like fucking. I'm a psychic.
Well, no, but they already covered Republic Commando on the Orange and Fetch show, so I don't think it even needs to be covered anymore.
I'm just
right?
telling you what. I'm just a psychic. I'm just telling you what was going to pop up.
Yeah.
But yes, this we're gonna just I'm feeling Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit more Star Wars.
I'm even to the point where I'm ready to forgive them for some of their bullshit that they pulled and actually like maybe read some comics again, read some novels again. I still don't think I'm going to get that much into the High Republic, honestly, but
Well, I think we can start with the book, the fucking
yeah, the new book.
new book, because there's some interesting stuff in the beginning that I'm intrigued.
What's it called, by the way?
Stand by.
It's the one that's got it stars like Luke and Lando. I think it involves a little bit of Rey's parents.
It's a dynamite taste.
Oh man, we got to get that drop back. Shadow of the Sith. Yep, and it's got fucking the dude that killed Rey's parents, right?
Well, I can tell you, I'm on chapter 5. Mm-hmm. There's definitely Rey's parents.
Okay.
And Rey's parents.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think this might be worth looking at. I mean, we're not going to talk about it next week.
No,
I would need at least a couple of weeks to get through the book.
Right. But more Star Wars.
Yeah. Slightly. I mean, we're still going to do like our music episodes. We're definitely doing the music of 94 soon.
94.
94.
94.
What is this?
That's not changing. A lot of what we have slated for the next 2 months, I don't think is going to change, but we might make a couple of adjustments here or there, much to the chagrin of our social media director.
Shit can all of it.
Fucking scrap the whole
The
schedule.
whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Luna Girl misses one show, we change everything.
Yeah, I know. That's what you get.
Everything.
But yeah, stay tuned for that and updates on the schedule.
Yep.
Alrighty, we ready to close it up? So I got some shit I got to get done.
Yeah.
I got to go to work in the morning.
And I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Like right now.
So, all right. Well, we're going to close it up then. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to all of our patrons and all of our dedicated, loyal listeners.
Yes, we
Those
love
in the
you.
Chat. You guys are all the best. And we'll see you next week with topic
Something.
TBD.
And it'll be funny.
And
We will entertain you.
we will always entertain you.
Are you not entertained?
He said anus. Entertain us. That's from Beavis and Butthead. I know. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys all later. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay. Now what do I click?
That was too good. I don't know how you did that so well, but fuck, that was good.
Honestly, I've never done that.
Well, we got to add that to the list. All right. The preacher voice was good. Like he had all the right inflections. Yeah, it was. What the hell is Killdozer? Oh, is that one of those weird horror movies that you guys were like spouting off? Wasn't there one of those movies that we were talking about that day with the tire? I'll ask Dave when he gets back from the bathroom about the cupcake. But yeah, wasn't there one where there was like a killer tire and then Killdozer? Is that like the killer bulldozer? Googling it right now. Killdozer short story. Yeah, it's November of 1944. Wow. Yeah, short story printed in 44 about a killer bulldozer.
List.
The list of your voices. Now
Who's
that's
maintaining this list. I didn't know there was one.
I don't know. I think we all are. But yeah, no, it was good.
Killdozer.
Yeah, apparently it was a short story printed in 1944 about a killer bulldozer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought when I first saw Killdozer, I thought it was about the guy who does Dave want a cupcake? Hang on, before I answer that, let me think about this.
Well, it's a yes or no. I think she's waiting to come in with it. If you say yes or no.
What should I say?
Do you like lemon cupcakes?
Lemon?
Yeah.
Interesting. I could eat that.
All right, bring it in.
Like a meringue? Like a lemon
I don't
meringue?
know.
Or like
I don't know.
you don't like lemon?
Not in my cupcakes. If I'm having a cupcake, I want it to be like fucking chocolate or fucking chocolate. Maybe some vanilla and chocolate or chocolate and vanilla.
It's about a dude that took way too much crap. Yeah. So there was a guy who this town basically
Uh-huh.
I think they were trying to claim eminent domain on his property. I don't remember the story that well, and yes, if Orange Effect did an episode on this, you should listen to it. But he went to battle with him in court, and they ended up fucking railroading him, and he decided to kind of get vengeance on the town, on this mayor, the fucking townspeople, like the council and all this other all these people.
Ran him over with a bulldozer.
He basically armor plated a bulldozer and just started fucking plowing through the fucking neighborhoods,
Nice.
like finding where these people lived and driving the fucking bulldozers through it. And cops couldn't do anything about it. They could not stop this fucking vehicle because it was, I mean, it's a fucking tank.
Yeah.
That actually looks good.
It's really good.
I want a piece.
Do you want a cupcake?
No. I just want a piece.
Do you want a fork?
Maybe. Can I have a piece of that? Just a piece. You can eat the rest. It's a big cupcake. You can share.
I like how suddenly it's like, oh, that looks delicious.
Well, now I see it, and I see all that frosting on top. I'm like,
What did you think it was going to be?
I don't know.
Like a lemon? Like,
I-
oh, here's a lemon.
I don't
Just
know.
one lemon with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a meringue. Have you had like a lemon meringue pie before?
Not that I can think of. Thank you.
Right? That's what this is, right?
It's a lemon buttercream. I've never actually had a lemon meringue.
If you go to Key West, you have to get a. Well, that's key lime. Never mind. Thinking of something else.
Oh.
Oh, Homer Simpson eating.
That's what I was going for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it good?
Yes, it's good. One thing I've noticed having the beard, it takes a lot of effort to clean all this shit out. Like any messy food, like I go through like fucking 4 napkins just trying to clean off a bite.
Or you need to train to go into the station better.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just I could eat. I just need it in my mouth right now. Just
That's what she said.
So, is anybody still in the chat?
Bronco Fettos. I think Dragon Buddy is.
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know.
All right. Now, you're doing Superman Red Sun. Weren't there a few iterations of that? Superman.
Oh, Uncle Raja. That's Uncle Raja Red Sun.
Oh, right. So, yeah, that was the one where he like landed in fucking Russia instead of America. I know they did an animated series or an animated movie about it, but I think it started off as like an Elseworlds comic. But anyway, it's a neat concept. Like, what would happen if Superman landed somewhere else other than fucking Kansas?
I really want to watch The Boys.
You know, I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about that too. I've never seen a single episode, but
I downloaded it to my iPad to watch on the flight.
Mhm.
Never had a chance to watch it.
yeah. Yeah, I hear it's excellent.
Yeah, that's people keep telling me. I have not heard a bad thing about it, and I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not a superhero guy,
Yeah.
but I think this. I like The Incredibles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just because it's an animated Disney movie. What I liked about The Incredibles is that they were fallible.
Right, and they take a different look at a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's the general public, and how they look at what people would have superheroes or like superpowers. Be like, oh, you didn't save my life, you ruined my death, type thing, right? And there's something about that. You want your heroes to be fallible, so
Yeah.
I think that's why with the boys, I think I could see that. Like, yeah, if you had superpowers, you would fucking rule the world.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do to me? Oh, nothing? No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell you what the fuck to do then.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we should do that for the show. Do like watch the first episode. See what we think. See if it's worth watching more. Fuck, we should do that for next week's episode. Scrap My Cousin Vinny and do first episode of The Boys. I know it's not Star Wars. I know we're talking about Star Wars topics, but just a thought, thinking out loud.
When you rewatch My Cousin Vinny, were you just not that?
I haven't rewatched it yet.
Oh, I thought you said you were rewatching it.
No. I was just thinking about the concept of rewatching. It's like, I've seen My Cousin Vinny like 50 times. Like, we owned it on VHS growing up.
I haven't watched it in a minute.
Yeah. Like, I know pretty much every fucking line of dialogue in that movie. And it's one of those things where, yes, I certainly understand and recognize how good of a movie this is. But God, it's in my mind, it's overplayed so much. But again, we can still do it. Like, is it on a streaming service, by the way?
I don't know. I have it on DVD.
I bet my mom still has the VHS. She kept all of her VHSs for years and years.
Biological clock is ticking like this.
I got a judge who's just aching to throw me in jail. I got an idiot who wants to fight me for $200.
He throws that punch. It's fucking one of the funniest things ever.
Mm-hmm.
What am I hearing?
It's fucking Netflix, man. You just like go to the splash page and it starts fucking just autoplaying shit. I hate how the internet has gone to like autoplaying everything. It's like, stop. If I wanted to watch this bullshit, I'd fucking fire it up and I'd turn up the volume and all that. No, I don't want you to like just start randomly playing shit as soon as I open up a web page or as soon as I open up my fucking social media. Stop. I'll hit play if I want to watch it.
But will you, Jason? Will you hit play?
If I'm that interested, but that's the thing. They just want to like just force it in your face. Just shove it in. No lube. Just
Yeah. And there's also people that call you 4 times a day about your car's extended warranty.
Yeah, those fuckers too.
And somehow that works.
Yeah.
They don't do it because it doesn't work, Jason. Because it doesn't work on you.
Right. It appears HBO Max has My Cousin Vinny.
Okay. I have that.
Let me just verify. Sign in. Sign in.
We should do Top Gun and Maverick.
Yeah.
I think if we do it, I want to see it again, though.
Okay.
I want to see it again in the theater before we do it again.
Makes sense. Yeah, My Cousin Vinny is on HBO Max.
Okay.
So we'll do that. We'll stick to the plan, I guess.
Yes, stick to the plan for next week, and then we'll discuss further after that. All right, I'm done my cupcake.
Kristen in the chat. Would you give a fuck what kind of pants the son of a bitch who shot you was wearing? All right. I think we're going to sign off, everybody. But we love you.
Yes.
We'll see you soon. End broadcast.